like a rivalry game. And our matchup is bitter. It has barbs and shots thrown on and off the field over the years. The Spartans will kick it away to start. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So Indiana's offense will go to work first. So Sparty jumped out to a 10-0 lead on Indiana last year, but the Hoosiers reeled off 47 consecutive points. One going away, took home the old brass spittoon and basically kicked the spit out of Michigan State.
They did, and Curtis Rourke, the pride of Oakville, Ontario, Canada, just went off, throwing for 4 touchdowns in that game, too. This offense is so explosive throwing it. They can find explosive plays all over the field. Michigan State's got to start fast in this one, David, but they've got to be able to keep it going for 4 quarters.
Well, and I think you remember not only this beatdown, but I think you remember them keeping the hammer down and playing guys in the 4th quarter and scoring. Like, this is something you don't forget because it's already 40-10. You score another touchdown a little bit in the 4th quarter in that football game. So I hope there's some anger and some hostility from what happened a year ago.
Really nice job by the defense that time, stopping the option. Everyone accounted for it. You saw the quarterback. He was holding it. He was running wider and wider out to the perimeter of the field. But this defense has really good speed. But they made that play because everybody was on the same page. Nice job.
Looking for a man, it's Mendoza. Shoots it to the left. Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. And he has taken it all the way back. Touchdown, Sparty.
You always want to come out and set the tone as a defense. Get a stop, make a punt. How about this? Get the INT and take it back to the house. Way to set the tone for this defense early.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game.
That makes the score Michigan State 7, Indiana 0.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. The returner will field it and try to do some business. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. So they start this drive from inside their own 20 at the 19-yard line. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
And the Hoosiers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Looking for a crease to the left. And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle.
You just need more from your offensive line. 2nd and short like that, you'd love to be able to fire off the ball and pick that up running it, but the defense was able to get penetration. They were able to get a stop, and now you set up 3rd down, and this offensive line is going to have to play a lot better here.
Muscling ahead on 3rd and short. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks.
Well, they're trying to run the football there, just nowhere to go. They got dominated up front at the point of attack.
The Hoosiers send out the punt unit. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Fair catch called for and taken at the 30-yard line. So Michigan State's offense will go to work for the first time. Let's take a quick second to call out some of the impact players their coaches mentioned in meetings this week. Anything you guys heard that really resonated with you?
Yeah, I love when coaches talk about guys that bring it every single day. Like, that we can depend.
Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24. And there is little more difficult to defend than pressure right up the middle, and the big nose tackle brings it there.
And he starts right on the football. A lot of time he gets double teamed, right? Because he's right there and you got the guards next to him, but the big fella just uses his power, overpowers the line, gets to the quarterback, and gets the sack.
And the Spartans now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Well, they're trying to get that run play going to the outside, but it's the defensive end who does a great job winning his one-on-one and forcing the negative play.
The Spartans need a massive chunk play to move the sticks here on third down. Looking to throw, it's Childs. He's going to throw deep right side. He's got it on the outside. Ripped off a huge chunk play on that one as he gets the first down before he steps out of bounds.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
And the Spartans getting set on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38.
And really kind of a Jekyll and Hyde opening drive for the defense in the game. They've given up some yards, and they've given up some big plays, but they've also got 2 sacks now already. So a little bit of back and forth. I think you're looking for a little bit more consistency from this defense now as the game develops.
Really need to find a productive play this time on 2nd and long. Back to pass. Snagged in the middle, it's Kelly. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
And after giving up that completion, guys, I wonder if the defense is going to decide to stay in zone or maybe mix things up, a little more man coverage, maybe blitz.
Defense getting stingier in their own end of the field. It's 3rd and long from the 28. From the gun, wants to pass. Firing to the right, complete. They've got enough for the first down, and they're in the red zone at the 20.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. You saw it right there on that play.
That's the end of the quarter, and Michigan State has the lead. And we've come to the end of the first as we take a moment to check out the stats so far. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the 2nd quarter. Kept it on the ground on 1st down, now back to the line. They think they can impose their will here with the run to the right. Gets it all the way down to the 2-yard line. He was fighting for that end zone.
This defense really is on their heels. They've been on the field now for a long time on this drive, and they're just getting pushed around at the point of attack up front like we saw in that last play.
The Spartans have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And this offense hoped to just run it in, and the defense was having none of it. No gain. Ball remains at the 2. Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Barrels ahead. He's going for the goal line. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Michigan State. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 14-0. An 84-yard drive there. And finish the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. Opening play of this drive comes from the 12-yard line. Out of the gun, the running back has it. Forced out of bounds, good pickup there on the ground.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Grabbed in the backfield, it's Hemby. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Now on offense, you're trying to get your running back involved here in the passing game, and obviously no success on that play. Defense seemed like they were aware of it, and all of a sudden you've set yourself up in a tough position here on 3rd.
Now on 3rd down for this offense. Wants to throw, it's Mendoza. Got him downfield. Such a big part to convert these 3rd downs, and they've got it at the 42.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field, and they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense moving forward.
This offense has been sluggish to say the least, but finally they're on the move on 1st and 10. It's complete to the left. He gets it into plus territory. He's out of bounds at the 48.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
And the Hoosiers have their whole playbook open here on 2nd and inches. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Yeah, you just feel like the running back's asking for redemption on that one. You know, 2nd and short, and you're giving him the football. He can't get the first himself. Now it's 3rd down. He's looking over on the sideline like, call it again, throw me the ball, I can go do this. It's never a good feeling for the running back in that situation.
Finds his tight end. He's knocked out of bounds at the 42. Solid pickup on that one. They saw that blitz coming, and the way to get out of it is find the tight end.
Yeah, how quick did he see that, too? Sees the blitz, understands this is a matchup where I got my big tight end, the big fella I trust. I'm going to find that matchup, get him the football for the 1st down.
We're at the 2-minute timeout, and these guys really need to build a little momentum to cut into this lead before halftime. The Hoosiers are on the move. Back to throw, it's Mendoza. Working that left side now. They finally make the stop, and it's been this way this guy's whole career as a senior makes a play after the grab.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. And the Hoosiers with the 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. Got it! He kept him out of the end zone, but it'll be 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. That's why everybody has to do the tip drill, DBs and receivers, and it worked out this time for the offense.
That's exactly what you want as a defender. Just get your hand on the football, let that thing bounce, and you see so many big plays made, but it was the opposite. It goes right to the wide receiver, makes the play, makes the catch. Man, that's frustrating for a defense.
Trying to pound it in. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it. The defense calls the timeout, their 2nd of the day as they try to get their act together. Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Wants to go up top. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there.
And this is the part of the field, man, you really got to have a plan because these windows get smaller and you're trying to fit that ball into the end zone. It's difficult to do. Quarterback, receivers, they got to be on the same page.
They played keep away with the football, but if this defense can make one more stop on 3rd and goal, they might force a field goal attempt. From the gun, wants to pass. Wide out, trying to get it in. And they've got him down after the short completion, but they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. The offense trying to find a way on 4th and goal from the 2. Dropping back, it's Mendoza. Back's got it. Touchdown, Hoosiers! The finisher, the exclamation point on that drive.
Man, I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
He'll try to tack on one more. And after the extra point, they've cut the lead in half, down 14-7. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And it was finished off with a 2-yard touchdown toss. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Coming out with it, it's McCray. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. Caught in the backfield, it's Kelly. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
They're trying to throw the screen out to the receiver. The defense, though, having none of that. They are just too physical, they're too fast, and they force a negative play.
High the chains now on 2nd and long. Motion from the back. Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
Well, that's just a great play by the defender and great timing. It was the hit that forced that incompletion.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, back up inside their 20. To throw, it's Childs. Finds his big tight end. They make the stop about 4 yards short of the first down. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. And the Spartans will send out the punt unit. Oh, what a move to get open. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return. Gets a little bit of ground for the offense. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Caught behind the line. It's Hemby. The clock will stop with this timeout from the offense. They'll get a chance to regroup on the sideline. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Back to throw, and they've got to be aware of the clock. Caught in the backfield. It's Hemby. If that running back wore a half-size bigger shoe, that's an incomplete pass, but he got a foot down.
He got it down. Nice body control, and you see so many running backs work with wide receivers now in practice because they're such good route runners, and you could tell the awareness was fully there near the sidelines to get that little toe in bounds, baby.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Good timing on the quick out. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call.
That receiver found the open space in the zone coverage, and as a defense, honestly, you just throw your hands up on that because they covered it pretty well. It was just a good play call and really nice execution.
Wants to throw on 1st down. Throws to the tight end. Got his man downfield. Perhaps a touchdown saving tackle at the 17. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
You know, to a lot of people, it's just a brass spittoon. But to these teams, it means so much more, and it sure looks like it so far. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. Guys, gotta love when the brass spittoon is up for grabs. Let's get things back to you.
The Hoosiers will kick it away to crank up the second half. From inside the 10, here he comes. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. First play of the drive comes from the 22. He'll keep it himself. Got to protect the merchandise. Gets down without taking a hit. There are many brass spittoons, most of them quite common, but none quite as famous as the old brass spittoon, the trophy itself, first created for this series in 1950.
This has been a great rivalry in the Big Ten. I know they went to different divisions. This was a protected cross-division rivalry for a little while. It isn't anymore. They don't play every single year, but when they do meet up, David, it's must-watch TV.
And I think the coolest part about this rivalry is the trophy. And Reese admitted he usually doesn't do that. He usually always on top of all of these details, but he kind of missed it. Back in 1950, Michigan State students were trying to make it more exciting, so they went by this store and basically bought a $25 trophy, an old brass spittoon. It's kind of gross, it's kind of nasty, but it's kind of awesome.
To the air, it's Childs. Wide open downfield. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37.
And that's a huge third down conversion by the offense there. It's 3rd and long. You've got to lead, not by a lot. Quarterback, though, very poised. Reads the coverage, throws it in rhythm, and you stay on the field.
They'll try the run. And he's able to find a little bit of running room before they get him down.
Definitely been tough sledding for this guy, especially in the first half. They gave him the ball a bunch, but they just don't have a ton of yards on the ground to show for it at this point. That looked like a pretty good run, though. You just wonder maybe in the second half, if they keep giving him the football, it may start paying some dividends.
The give to the tailback. And he's very fortunate to get it back to the line of scrimmage, greeted by a sea of defenders.
And if this defense wants to get back in the football game, they've got to match the physicality of this offense. And that's a great start here in the second half. Like coming out, not letting them run the football, being the more physical and more aggressive team.
They'll try to power their way ahead. He just needed a yard on 3rd down, and there just wasn't any room to pick it up.
Great job of containing by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened.
The Spartans will punt it away on 4th down. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Starts a drive trying to go up top. Fires to the big fella. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few. The rivalry started in 1922 in Bloomington with a Hoosier win, but the old brass spittoon first awarded in 1950 when they resumed play after a pause for World War II.
Yeah, Indiana might have won the first one, Reese, but Michigan State has owned the old brass spittoon. And they have owned this series. It's been very one-sided. They've dominated it, Jesse, so looking forward to see if Indiana can kind of reverse that trend.
And I know this is a rivalry that a lot of college basketball fans get really excited for every year, but the football rivalry is pretty good too, and you both just very eloquently laid out why and the history behind this game. They do not like each other.
And the Hoosiers come to the ball trying to pick up this 3rd and short. They'll try to bully their way for the first. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot, It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one, they need him to break one off. And it just takes one play for this guy. Don't be impatient. You got to keep giving him the football.
He will signal for the fair catch and take it just inside the 35. Decent field position to start this drive from their own 33. Leaves it with the running back. Across the 45. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47.
And here we go. If you're an offense, you got to get that ground game going so you can have some balance, and then you give it to your quarterback, Palmer, and let him make some plays down the field later on.
Yeah, exactly. And coming into this game, this offense knew they were going to have to some way, somehow, at least establish a semblance of a running game for exactly what you just said. You got to be able to use play-action pass later in this game to get some explosive plays down the field. And it's a play like that we just saw, which can help them get that going.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Here's the handoff. And he didn't find a whole lot of running room, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan State has the lead. And we've reached the end of the third, and time is running out if they're going to cut into this deficit. Let's take a look at our game stats before we move on. Here comes the fourth. Time to see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take home that W. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up for this third down play. Back to throw, it's Childs. A little screen to the running back. And the Spartans will move the sticks. Boy, the defense really needed to get off the field there, and they just couldn't do it, and it's a fresh set of downs.
Man, that hurts. When you're trailing late in the ball game, you need those stops, and you get them to third down. You get them to those critical points. Now they get the first down. You don't have many left. You better get aggressive.
Off the play fake on first down. Makes a connection. Out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. Edge of the red zone, and they have their eyes on a score.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in a game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
The Spartans have it with a 1st and 10. To the air on first down. Caught over the middle. It's Kelly. Now the connection takes it to the 11.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game long.
It's first down from the 11. They just keep firing. Into the end zone. And that one's way too far for everybody.
And that is a huge missed opportunity for the quarterback. You've got your guy wide open in the end zone. You're not under pressure. You just got to hit him. That ball got away. That's one he'd like to have back.
Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Wants to fire on second down. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
Love the physicality of this secondary on defense. That defender got to the football, was able to separate the receiver from the ball, and did it legally. Beautiful job.
Boy, they love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on first and goal. Scanning the field, it's Childs. He makes a grab. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
This is one of those unique situations in a game as a head coach. You're trying to feel the momentum. What's your confidence in your quarterback? Because you've got fourth, you're in field goal range, but you've got the weapons to get one more completion and ice this thing. So do you kick the field goal or do you go for it?
And that is no good. And the margin remains at 7 after the miss.
Well, that's one the kicker would like to have back. That's a kick he should be making in his sleep.
A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. They'll start this drive with a pass. They're working that left side. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's third best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
Back to pass on second down. Finds his man. It's Hemby. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
You just get the feeling this defense is going to make it hard on them, right? They've got the lead, it's late, and they're going to try to tackle everybody inbounds. Offense is going to have to really work for this and be smart. You got to attack the sidelines. You got to throw first downs. You got to keep this thing moving vertically down the field.
In the gun and looking to throw on third down. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
You know, I feel for this offense, if they're going to get back in the game, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it with chunk plays. They're going to have to be methodical and generate some first downs and march down the field.
Trailing by a possession, they need to keep the ball. They'll try to convert on fourth down. He'll take another shot here. It's incomplete, and they desperately needed to keep that drive going, and they couldn't make the connection. The give, and tick, 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 tick. That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
The defense, obviously, at this point is trailing. They need to get the football back. They're expecting run. They know the offense is going to try and bleed the clock, so you got to be good at the point of attack. They were right there. They gave up nothing on that run.
Quick timeout call by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense.
Now, we talk about quarterbacks having to make quick decisions, and I think you saw it on that play. Nobody opened downfield, but he just decided to take off.
Looking downfield, it's Childs. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up.
Man, they just couldn't find a hole. Down in the red zone, the field shrinks. So much harder to complete those passes. But fourth and short. Now, decision time, baby.
So here we are on fourth down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. Thought he had it and couldn't get it through the uprights. He missed it. And the margin is still 7 after the miss, guys.
And they trusted him. Even after that last miss, they trusted him again to make it, and he misses again. I don't know how much more trust they'll have in him. Good weather, not a long kick, second miss of the day. We might not see him again.
Got a man, it's Cooper. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and time is of the essence for this offense to get things done. The Hoosiers can really attack on this second and short. Looking to fire. Finds his man. It's Hemby. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Defense not fooled there in a 2-minute situation. This offense trying to go quick game, trying to catch some blocks to see if they can spring that guy, but the defensive pursuit just too good on that one.
And the Hoosiers come to the line on third and short, hoping lofts one high and deep. Almost intercepted, and that might have been the ball game if he had held on. Instead, it's fourth down.
And you absolutely expect those shots from this offense, and I love it. The defense was prepared. You got to know where the burners are. You know he can go, so you got to play that deep route. They play it great. Don't give up the big play. Stay deep, and don't let anyone get behind you.
Incomplete on fourth down, and man, did they need to keep that drive alive.
And this offense does not come up big. Man, you needed that first down. And listen, the communication with this offense and the execution has left a little bit to be desired, and especially in a big moment right here when you had to have a score and you had to have the fourth down conversion. Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Power football with the run. Couldn't quite get it into the end zone. He goes out of bounds at the 3, but they are in business.
Those outside runs, if they can get the edge like they did, great job by the right guard, right tackle, getting the edge. And now what does this do? This makes cornerbacks come up and tackle. Safeties come up and tackle. As opposed to linebackers and big defensive players, you get your guy out in space where he can use his speed and his physicality against guys that usually cover and don't come up and make tackles.
So Michigan State beats Indiana to claim the old brass spittoon, and that coveted trophy will reside on the banks of the Red Cedar. That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.